child who is undergoing treatment for a life-threatening medical condition has so much of normal childhood taken away from them, so much of their decision-making ability, so much of their normal experiences with playmates and friends and siblings. It is so long and so arduous. It robs so many of the normal childhood experiences from a child and from their family.
As a physician, as a clinician, there is much that we can do. Sometimes we do everything we can do. Sometimes we do too much. You run into a family that is out of control with their life. They have circumstances imposed upon them that they never would have signed up for or dreamed that they would be in that position.
In rare disease, sometimes I can't give a family a diagnosis. Sometimes I have no treatment even if I get the diagnosis, and I almost never have a cure. So what can I offer this family that I can't offer much to?
There are medications that we can provide, there are treatments that we can administer, and yet there are pieces missing from that can only be filled by the impact of a wish experience.
A wish is something that we as a community have said we're going to offer and show our support for a family that doesn't feel very supported sometimes by the medical community. And I think a wish is a really meaningful way that we connect with families that medicine doesn't have much else to offer to them.
I think for a lot of families it provides anything from respite, sometimes in the middle of care, sometimes it provides a reward at the end of treatment, sometimes it provides an oasis or an island where they can seek sort of normality.
A wish gives me the chance to give the family something from all of us as a community. It comes from the medical community, it comes from the whole population saying, your child's not forgotten.
The beauty of Make-A-Wish is it's incredibly simple. It is that intangible object that, quite honestly, I cannot order from the pharmacy. I cannot write a prescription for.
You see a child before they go on their wish, and when they come back with their family after the wish, it's often like seeing a totally different child.
You just see it in their faces, this idea of thinking outside their current moment in time.
It's an unsaid power that these experiences can give these kids. And you know, these are kids that are living longer. They're living better. They're having more fun in their life. And it all started with one experience, and that was their wish.
We don't need studies to show this, but now there are studies that are coming out. It just seems so intuitive, right? You have something to look forward to, and it makes you be more compliant with your treatment plan, so then it's going to impact your physical, your emotional, your psychological well-being.
It's interesting. The study from Israel, it's significant because it's one of the first studies that we've actually looked at regarding the outcome or the impact of a wish, looking at the medical aspect of the child. What it does show is that a child that has a wish, there is a measurable change in their outlook.
I think, personally, being involved with Make-A-Wish has made me a better physician and has made me think more critically about what I can do outside of just the medicine and just the surgeries and just the procedures to improve the quality of life of our patients and their families.
My favorite wish is the next one. And the one after that. And the next 10. And the next 100. Because, as with life, a wish has less to do with what has been and more to do with what's coming up.
Hi, so I would like to introduce the CEO of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Orange County and the Inland Empire, Stephanie McCormick.
Wow. Well, first of all, this is an incredible evening for our chapter. And one thing I have to say is I'm glad I'm not one of the judges. What a talented, incredible group of young people have performed so far. And we are so grateful for the Greek Songfest. 39 years, wow, that's wonderful. And to think that you've raised already $9,000, I can't tell you how powerful that is. So congratulations and thank you. And as you saw in the video, a wish child is a magical, powerful individual. Our wish kids, they never cease to amaze me every single day. Their strength, their heart, their love, their determination, their kindness. They're just incredible people. And this year, our chapter was very blessed to grant 325 wishes in Orange County and the Inland Empire. And alongside that, we also granted nearly 700 wish assists. Yeah. So those are the children that come in from outside of our chapter territory and come into Orange County. And where do you think they want to go? Disneyland. So we're really very blessed by having all of these children in our territory and in our hearts. So tonight, you don't need to hear any more from me. I want to introduce you to one of our incredible, incredible wish ambassadors who's going to tell you a little bit about her story. So it is my honor to introduce to you this evening our wish kid, Devin.
Hi, my name is Devin and I'm 14 years old. When I was 8 years old, I was a very, very healthy child. And when I didn't feel well one day, my parents weren't too concerned. They just thought I had a flu. I had a fever of 101, and I was sick a couple times. And over the next week, I got better, but still not 100%. We noticed my cheeks were swollen. I would fall asleep a lot, and I was paler than usual. My parents took me to the pediatrician, and they ran blood work on me. And the following day, they called my parents and said that I needed to go to CHOC emergency room immediately for additional testing. But the thing that I didn't tell my parents until after the fact was that I thought that the emergency room was where people went to die. So you can only imagine how scared I was being an 8-year-old thinking I was gonna die. When I was being examined, the doctors and nurses said that worst case, I would have to spend the night and possibly have a blood transfusion. Right after that, a nurse came in and told me that I had to spend the night and quickly gave me a blood transfusion. We then knew that I was really sick. My parents tried to convince me that it'd be fun to spend the night at a hospital, but I didn't think so. The next morning, Dr. Benezer, the head of nephrology, came in and we were told that my preliminary diagnosis was atypical hemolytic uremic syndrome, an ultra-rare blood disease. The disease makes my complement system, which is part of my immune system, constantly flow. It shatters my red blood cells and clots major organs. I was extremely fortunate to be at such a wonderful hospital. Most kids are misdiagnosed or do not get properly diagnosed for weeks or even months. There are only 300 cases of my disease in the US and only 1,000 worldwide. Even though they knew what I had, I still didn't get better. Each day we prayed hard that I would get better, but I still didn't. I was in kidney failure and had over 10 blood transfusions. We are truly blessed to be at a hospital so close to our home, surrounded by family and friends, and 10 minutes away was our church. People were praying for me all across the world. My school even had a prayer vigil for me when things got really bad. 2 days after my prayer ritual, for the first time, I started to get better. And after spending 5 long weeks at Chalk Hospital, I was released the Easter before Easter Sunday. 4 months prior to being diagnosed, the first and only drug for my disease was FDA approved. There are over 7,000 rare diseases, and only 5% of them have a medical treatment. I was one of the lucky ones. If it wasn't for this new treatment, which is truly a miracle drug, I would have a 50% chance of living and a high chance of being on dialysis for the rest of my life. A fun fact is that in 2012, my treatment was on the Forbes list for the world's most expensive drug. Now it is the second most expensive drug, but I receive a treatment at the infusion center at Chalk every 14 days, and my parents receive a statement twice a month for $1,700,000 a year. That's over $40 million a year, and thankfully we live in the United States and have great medical insurance. Some countries do not allow this drug in their countries since they have socialized medicine because it's too expensive. When I was in the hospital and even after I was released, I was scared and unsure of the life I would now live. I thought my new normal would be to live in and out of the hospital, and my mom was even worried that I'd miss 2 months school and have to repeat 3rd grade or even be homeschooled. I didn't know what would be my normal life, if I would be able to continue sports, go away to summer camp, or even be able to spend the night at my friend's house. I continued to get treatment every 14 days, got stronger, and even got my confidence back. Then the magic started to happen. My doctors and friends encouraged my parents and I to look into Make-A-Wish. After I met with the Orange County Inland Empire Make-A-Wish team, I was beyond excited and couldn't believe that something this exciting was happening to me. I got to let my mind go crazy and imagine anything I possibly wanted. I thought about meeting Carrie Walsh and playing volleyball with her. I thought about going to the Olympics, but then after a lot of deliberation, I chose to go to New York City Fashion Week. I love sewing and fashion and to travel. My entire family, my mom, my dad, and my younger brother Jackson were picked up in a limousine and driven to LAX, flown to New York City, and we attended 5 fashion shows. I got to go backstage, have my makeup done, receive gifts, and meet most of the designers. They were all amazing, but my favorite was Diane von Furstenberg. She really made me feel special. Her assistant, who I had seen on a reality TV show, took me by the hand, brought me backstage past all the photographers, media, and VIPs waiting to meet Diane von Furstenberg. She introduced me to her, and she could not have been nicer. She took extra time with me, complimented me, and she was very thankful for the little bouquet of flowers I gave her. Besides the fashion shows, I got to meet lots of celebrities, to New York City, eat at fabulous restaurants, and see the play Wicked. I even got to stay at an amazing hotel right off of Times Square. It was definitely a trip of a lifetime, and I cannot thank Make-A-Wish Orange County Inland Empire enough for making my dreams come true. Even after Make-A-Wish, I have been invited to many Make-A-Wish events, and now I'm able to give back a little by being their ambassador. My wish truly changed my life. I now know how special I am and how I can make my own dreams come true. Today, thanks to treatment, I receive a perfectly normal life. I am a freshman at Orange Lutheran High School, and I am on the swim and volleyball team. I am even going on a mission trip this summer to Ethiopia. I am still not sure which university I'd like to attend or what I would like to be when I grow up. I just know that I have no limitations and that the sky's the limit. I decided to become a WIS ambassador to share my wish with you all today because I want everyone to know how wonderful Make-A-Wish is and how happy they make kids like me feel who have a life-threatening illness and a tougher road than most other kids. Thank you, UC Irvine Songfest, for inviting me to come and speak with you all this evening.